Dr. Madhukumar Mehta, Chief Mentor ITH, Arun Daftari from ITH, as well as all the participants. We also welcome Mr. Pramod Dua, and we are grateful to him for helping us in spreading the news about this particular leadership talk. We at CTSVM are trying to strike a big run, and apart from our academics, we are trying to build up our industry academic relationships. And in the same continuance, we are organizing this leadership talk. Before we start the formal program, I think Pramod sir wants to share something about his group. I would request him to share a few things about his group so that we can go ahead with the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great happiness morning.
Great happiness morning.
મજામાં? મને કહેવામાં આવ્યું છે કે ભાઈ આપણા એસોસિએશન વિશે કહેવાનું છે જે લોકો નથી જાણતા એના માટે પણ ગુજરાતી ઓકે
ઓકે
તો અમારું એસોસિએશન નામ છે બિઝનેસ લીડર્સ એસોસિએશન ઇન્ડિયા. બેઝિકલી આ પ્લેટફોર્મ છે લર્નિંગ પ્લેટફોર્મ અને આ પ્લેટફોર્મ થકી ઘણા બધી એક્ટિવિટીઝ થાય છે અને બાય પ્રોડક્ટ બિઝનેસ B2B એ બાય પ્રોડક્ટ છે. ઘણા બધા લોકોને ઇન્ટરનલ બિઝનેસ થાય છે ને પ્લસ આઉટસાઇડ પર બિઝનેસ ઘણા બધા થાય છે. આજે કોઈ પણ ઠેકાણે જો એક વ્યક્તિને એન્ટ્રી લેવી હોય ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશનમાં તો ડાયરેક્ટ જાય અને કોઈના રેફરન્સથી જાય છે એસોસિએશન થ્રુ તો ઇટ મેક્સ વેરી ઇઝીયર પાથ ફોર યુ. સો એ રીતે આ એસોસિએશનનો પર્પસ છે કે લર્નિંગ પ્લેટફોર્મ સાથે સાથે B2B બિઝનેસ રાઈટ. અને ઘણા બધા અમે સેશન્સ કરી રહ્યા છે અત્યારે. એમાં ઇગો મેનેજમેન્ટ, ટાઈમ મેનેજમેન્ટ, પછી બિઝનેસ એથિક્સ ઘણા બધા સેશન થઈ રહ્યા છે. તો આઈ વુડ રિક્વેસ્ટ ઓલ જે એસોસિએટેડ નથી તો આ પ્લેટફોર્મનો તમે બેનિફિટ લો. અને દર બુધવારે અમે મળીએ છીએ તાજમાં સવારે 7 વાગે 7 થી 9:30નો ટાઈમ હોય છે. જે લોકો નથી ખબર પ્લીઝ એનરોલ ધેમસેલ્ફ. ક્વાર્ટરલી મેમ્બરશિપ હોય છે એના માટે તમે જિગ્નેશભાઈને મળી શકો છો. અને થેન્ક્સ ટુ અંકિતભાઈ અને ડાયસ પર સિરાજમાં બધા માનવ થેન્ક યુ. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
To start with a small introduction to Dr. Madhukumar Mehta. Most of us know him. He is a chief mentor at ITH. ITH is an organization which is an incubation, which is an incubator also, which is providing as well as mentoring a lot of business projects to them. Their particular head office is in Ahmedabad, and their website, as already mentioned in my mail, also is ita.org.in. We will start immediately on the topic of the event of the leadership talk is igniting ambitions, scaling up resumes. The purpose and is that how can we grow our business better. And I think now Madhukumar sir will be question to take the test.
Morning everyone.
Good morning.
I just want to share some news with you that our chairman, Dr. Challanges, he left this world on 6th of January, and all the news appeared in major media around the region and around the country also. Challanges was entering into 100th year, and this trust is also entering into 100th year. So it made a very significant coincidence. And he is the one in one line, if I have to say. He has donated to create about 100 higher education institutions, notably 22 under Saurashtra University in Rajkot, and 2,500 village schools. In addition to 400 to 500 other institutions like Dawakhana, Gamrama, those kind of things. And he was a donor known for Chief BLAI, which means he saved at the time of drought in early 80s, 70s, about 500,000 cows and buffaloes by providing grass and buying it from outside the state. There are a number of incidents that you will read and come across, and people like Mukesh Ambani were present in his funeral, which indicated, how respected he was. We are going to set up a research center over here on his life, and we are going to collect and understand and publish in future. And this is just a glimpse of it, so just to share. I was wondering as to when we have leadership talk organized and we have the advanced SME program, SME entrepreneurship program, which will commence from the next week in collaboration with ICREATE. Who is a leader? Instead of talking a lot about what is written, I was thinking throughout my past 50 years of life as to what are the qualities that I have observed in leaders, irrespective of their names and case studies. And I sort of came to a temporary conclusion of 4 qualities, Madhubhai, that I think the leader should have. मैं हेमंत भाई के लिए हिंदी में बोलूँगा क्योंकि हेमंत भाई हिंदी में बात करना अच्छा लगता है और वैसे हमारी राष्ट्रभाषा।
वेरी गुड।
तो हेमंत भाई ऐसा है कि सबसे पहली क्वालिटी जो है वो लीडर की, वो समझदार होना चाहिए, अंडरस्टैंडिंग। तो अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट? अंडरस्टैंडिंग सिचुएशन को समझे, अपने आसपास के लोगों को समझे, अपने एम्प्लॉइज को समझे और पब्लिक को समझे, कस्टमर को समझे, सप्लायर को समझे, सबको समझे। तो जो समझदार हो, दैट इज द फर्स्ट क्वालिटी। समझ जो है वो जन्म से आती है और बाद में डेवलप होती है। तो पहली क्वालिटी, अच्छा लीडर समझदार होता है। दूसरी क्वालिटी है कि लीडर दिलदार होना चाहिए। दिलदार का मतलब है कंपैशनेट, दयावान। बहुत एग्जैक्ट आपको सिनोनिम्स नहीं मिलेंगे, लेकिन दिलदार का है जो दिल से सोचने वाला, जिनको मैनेजमेंट की लैंग्वेज में ईकी कहते हैं, इमोशनल क्वोशंट। तो जो दिल से समझे और दिमाग से काम करे, ऐसा दिलदार होना चाहिए। तीसरी क्वालिटी है लीडर खुददार होना चाहिए, सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट वाला। और आप समझ रहे हैं खुददार का मतलब। और चौथी क्वालिटी है, कहीं मैंने लिखना रह गया, चौथी क्वालिटी है कि लीडर सरदार होना चाहिए। तो सरदार की डेफिनेशन आप सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल से ले लो या कहीं से भी ले लो, ठीक है। तो लीडर ऐसी 4 क्वालिटी, समझदार हो, दिलदार हो, खुददार हो और फिर वो सरदार बनने के लायक बने, तो ये एक अच्छा लीडर की क्वालिटी है। फिर कहीं ऐसा होता है कि कोई लीडर जो है वो कुछ और बन जाता है बीच बीच में, तो उसकी बातें हम कभी दोबारा करेंगे, कुछ उसके ऊपर मैं सोच कर दूंगा। और कभी कोई सेशन मेरे भाग्य में आया, आप आपके एडवांस एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप प्रोग्राम है, तो उस टाइम पे हम बात करेंगे कि और क्या क्या एक लीडर क्या होता है। मैं सिर्फ एक कोट करना चाहूँगा, ये गोपाल कृष्ण की बुक है When the Penny Drops। आप लोगों ने कहीं पढ़ी होगी, किसी ने पढ़ी है When the Penny Drops? It's a very famous book, probably a year old. And Gopal Krishna is the chairman of TCS and earlier vice chairman Hindustan Lever and all that . And in this book, on page 40, he writes a very good on, a leader जो है वो वही बन सकता है जिसमें लर्निंग क्वालिटी हो, सीखने की तमन्ना हो। मुझे ये अच्छा इसलिए लगा कि आप सबको सीखने की तमन्ना है, लर्निंग क्वालिटी है, इसलिए आप आ जाए। मधु भाई को सुनने के लिए अहमदाबाद में प्रोग्राम होते हैं, तो सम ऑफ देम आई हैव अटेंडेड, तो उसमें वो एएमए का ऑडिटोरियम छोटा पड़ता है। आज आपको ऐसे मौका है कि एक चंद लोगों को उनके साथ में 1 घंटा बिताने का मौका है। तो इस मौके को आप जो है वो अपने सब विचार छोड़ के, सब मोबाइल, सब स्थावर जंगम मिलकर सब छोड़ के अगर 1 घंटा आप मधुबाई के साथ गुजार लें और पारुल में इसमें असिस्ट करेंगे, शी इज लीड आईटी एमएसएमई एट आईटी, ये सब एमएसएमई से हैं आप लोग, और एम नहीं है एस है तो एम जरूर बनने वाले हैं। तो ये लर्निंग क्वालिटी जो है ये गोपाल कृष्णन बहुत अच्छी तरह उनकी लाइफ का निचोड़ ये एक लाइन में कहते हैं कि लर्निंग रिक्वायर्स हाई लेवल ऑफ सेल्फ अवेयरनेस। अब हमारे एंशिएंट ग्रंथ में लिखा है अहम ब्रह्मास्मि। कोई ओएनजीसी के सीनियर मैनेजर्स को टॉक कुछ मोटिवेशन टॉक देने के लिए मुझे बुलाया था, तो उसमें जनरल मैनेजर जैसे लोग पार्टिसिपेंट थे, वेस्टर्न रीजन के, एंड ऑलमोस्ट द एंटायर ऑडिटोरियम वाज फुल एंड मेनी केम विद देयर वाइफ एंड आई वाज थिंकिंग मैं इनको क्या मोटिवेशन करूं, ये सब टॉक में होंगे। फिर मैंने ये उनको सूत्र दिया कि रोज सुबह उठ के आप ऐसे सोचिए हम ब्रह्मास्मि, मैं ही ब्रह्मा हूं। इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मैं रूल करूं पूरे दुनिया को, इसका मतलब ये कि अपने विजन का मैं खुद जिम्मेदार हूं और अपनी कारकिर्दी, अपनी करियर, अपना फ्यूचर का मैं शिल्पकार मैं खुद ही हूं और कोई और रिस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं है एक्सेप्ट कि जिसों ने मुझे हेल्प किया। अदरवाइज मैं खुद रिस्पॉन्सिबल हूं और मैं खुद सेल्फ गवर्निंग हूं। तो दिस टॉक्स अबाउट सेल्फ अवेयरनेस। Learning requires high level of self-awareness. Then understanding other people. शुरू में मैंने कहा समझदार होना चाहिए लेकर understanding other people and getting the best out of relationships and networks. Relationship network में से पैदा होती है. So there is a large network of people. And there is a relationship with few of them. So getting best out of the networks and the relationship and the networks, ये learning quality है। ये प्रोग्राम जो ज्वाइन करेंगे उनको फिर बाद में I would wish to give this book to all the participants who will join the program and we will order copies as many as required. So I must thank Madhubai and without taking more time, we would like to spend rest of the time listening to him. And I am profoundly thankful. He has been keeping so busy, so busy. I wonder at his age whether I will be able to be so productive. Thank you, and my personal pranam to you as well as on behalf of the आपका सूरज जो है बहुत नीचे जाएगा। Is all some faculty members. Gaurav. मैं एक डेकोरेशन वाला हूँ, तो मेरा काम लाइट को जलवाना है, लाइट को जलाना आपका काम है।
I don't think I need a mic, right?
Right.
I had met Ethan by a few times when I was here. Is English fine for you?
Hindi.
English also fine. Some words don't come naturally.
No problem.
So, Ethan by to काफी बार 2-3 बार मिला और what one can very quickly see from his energy and his compassion. That is just described how he has contributed to large number of initiatives in the society. So I thought that when I come here and there's such a immediacy of the event, I should at least say we should recognize him, take time to mention that the word that was used in Times of India was Tamasha Change. So, good.
400 years before,
Yeah.
or 500 years before, when Mama Shah was there, he is considered to be the next
Right. So, let me just go to the next slide. Our topic is scaling up of SMEs. What I will do is use about 25 minutes or so, 20-25 minutes, to sort of formally talk about things which I have organized. But really speaking, value of such interaction is interaction. And therefore, if you have some questions, then there are some material which we can skip. We can really focus on some of the initial material. तो अगर आपको लगता है कि आपको कुछ सवाल है तो आप मुझे रोक के पूछ सकते हैं, बिकॉज हमारे पास 25 मिनट है, तो 25 मिनट में जो कुछ भी हम कर सकते हैं, करना चाहते हैं, आपके लिए मैक्सिमम इंटरेस्ट होना चाहिए. If the question relates to some specific for an individual, then I would suggest that we will take it during the break and continue for the. So what is that I am trying to do in terms of this particular talk? The fundamental thing I would like to do is give you a nudge. That nudge is a halka sa dharka. Nudge to think about possibilities. Scaling up अगर करना है तो क्या करना पड़ेगा, क्या करना चाहिए, क्या opportunity है, क्या मुश्किलें आ सकती हैं. That is the nudge. That is the purpose of this entire 25 minutes of thoughts that one would put across. तो हम करेंगे कैसे? Some few words that I will introduce and give hopefully some new perspective. किस तरीके से नजरिए से हम देख सकते हैं? What is the way we can look at the emerging world and the opportunities? What are the problems? Parul will give you some idea about what I think it is doing, and of course we'll use the time to that. Let's move on to the next one.
देखा से नहीं रिमोट से आगो रिमोट ठीक है
The first thing that we have been saying is that the title is firing up on this issue and scaling up. Almost everybody who runs a business will be fired up to grow. So that I'm taking. There are two ways to look at the future. Either we can extrapolate, that is extending the present.
ऑन कर ऑन साइड में
ऑन करेंगे लोड नहीं करता है।
Either we can extrapolate, that is extend the present. So for example of incremental plan, आज हमने ये किया है, कल 5%, 10%, 15% जाएगा। Extrapolate is
लो
extending.
स्टार्ट टी टेबल थोड़ा साइड में कर ले लेफ्ट साइड
So you can extrapolate, extend the present and say here we are and every year we can go so far and then get where we can go in 5 years or something. Another thing which C.K. Pralhad sort of pointed to, and that is imagine the future that you want and interpolate to say this is where I want to be in 5 years. And if I want to be there in 5 years, what is it that I will have to do to be able to get there? That is, you will look at, imagine the future and work out a plan as how you get there. So, interesting thing in terms of the emerging world in India is what got us here is not likely to get us there. The parameters, the conditions, the environment, what was there in last 10 years, last 15 years, last 20 years is not going to be the same environment. So incremental thinking is not likely to get us there. We need to think in terms of. So essentially, it is a change that one has to deal with. Can I start that? I have 2 clips. I want to sort of play the clips right away so that it sets the tone. And things are related with whiteboard that I this
organization desperately needs is change.
So when one uses words, word means something to some people and it may mean something else to other people. So the problem that anybody faces is communication, where you actually are able to convey what you want to convey.
Stanford University plans with us
So what do I know about change? First thing I know is that everybody is afraid of something. Everybody is afraid of something. All of you are afraid of something. All of us are afraid of something. What distinguishes people who are successful in their life and those who are not is what do you do with your fear? Some people are held back by their fears, and some people choose to move ahead in spite of fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting in spite of fear. But because everybody is afraid, what most of the time people are afraid of is something new. The essence of entrepreneurship is risk-taking. The essence of business is risk-taking. Taking a risk is all about trying something new. And yet, as people go on in their lives, they become afraid of trying something new. And so, change is always resisted, always. Because people are afraid. Even if what they have is not satisfying to them, a lot of people are afraid to venture into the unknown. And that holds them back from change. And if you are trying to drive a company, an organization, your colleagues towards change, you have to know that they are afraid. And you have to know as well that the only way you can help people get over their fear is to give them a vision of something that's worth striving for, that's worth taking a risk for. But the other reason change is always resisted is because the natural momentum, the natural instinct of any institution, I don't care if that institution is a family, a board, a university, a company, of 5 people, or 500,000 people. Today, one of the many very interesting things that I do is I chair the advisory board for the Central Intelligence Agency. And so I can say without fear of contradiction that this is true of government agencies, everybody. The natural momentum of any organization is to preserve the status quo. Why? Because people who have positions of power and influence want to keep them. And so they invest their energies in maintaining their position of power and influence. This isn't because people are bad. It's just human nature. And so when people are focused on risk-taking, change, you have to understand that the momentum that works against you is the power of the status quo, and it's always there. That's why change is hard. And the other force that pushes against change is fear, basic human fear. And so change has to have enough power, the power of religion about what can be different. It has to have enough force and enough energy to overcome people's fears and to overcome the power of the status quo.
So, if we want to scale up, it's going to require fundamental changes in the way we are doing it. And the change, as she said, is everybody is afraid of something. Successful people move in spite of fear, not courage is not absence of fear, but it is acting in spite of the fear. Most people are afraid of change, even if they have what they have is not satisfactory, they are not willing to take the plunge because fear holds them back. And one has to have the vision that has to be created so that it makes it worthwhile striving or taking the risk. The last sentence, the third one, is the most important one. Change has to have enough power of vision, of what could be different, and enough force and enough energy to overcome fear and the power of the status quo. So, if we want to scale up, we will have to take the leadership within our own organization to be able to take that organization, deal with the fears, status quo of the organization, and move it ahead. And for that, we have to create enough energy, enough power to be able to create a vision which is worth striving. So now, what are the things that we can briefly sort of look at in terms of steps? Prepare self and organization, change. Holding the future in, determine where you want to be, create a vision and make it versatile. Second, determine what do you need to do. So here is where we want to be, and if we want to be there, what are the things that here is where we are. So what are the things that we have to do from here to here? Grasp basics of innovation, technology and globalization. These are the factors which are driving the external environment. And if we want to create a viable business and grow, then we will have to deal with this external environment and be ahead of that. Set a pace for self and pace for the company. And finally, seek help when falling short. So not everybody is going to be able to do everything from within the organization. So organizations like seed, organizations like mentors or experts that they are going to bring during the program, or organizations like I create in due course of time will be able to help in this part. But as he rightly said, the quality that we as a leader of the SME have to develop is to be able to learn, adopt and improve. So these are the forces: globalization, innovation and technology. And I thought that we first put some few bullets. There are some 10 slides thereafter. We can skip those in terms of the time. But let us just look at few bullets and use that as a talking point. The first thing that we need to do is to be able to understand, embrace technology. Because technology is a leverage or a lever which is strongly influencing the growth path of an individual or an organization. Especially when you are small, you are competing with larger organizations, larger companies. Larger companies tend to use technology to the limit, and therefore they are able to bring the cost and prices down. They are able to create a much greater reach. The scale then works to their advantage. If you have to compete in that environment, we have to embrace the technology. In fact, if once you start addressing the technology, you may discover that there are things that you can do